So in this series of just this meditations, my hope is that I could provide a series of different images or kind of guiding metaphors for how you might go about sitting down to practice a session of meditation, or more generally to have it kind of in the background in your daily life. And for this sitting, I'd like to present the idea of water awareness. Water has an amazing tendency to settle down to the lowest, stillest point. It freely allows itself to be stirred up, but always moves back again to a settled stillness whenever conditions allow it to. So what I'd suggest for this period of practice, these couple of minutes, is to try to treat your mind as though it were, if you would imagine, a jar of water and sand, and as you shake the jar, or as it's disturbed, the sand and water get mixed up and cloudy and opaque and difficult to see through, not clear. But as you set the jar down, the sand under its own weight effortlessly settles, and the water settles around it, and the water becomes clear and still and settled. So through this period of time, you'll notice yourself being shaken or jarred up or disturbed. That's fine. Do your best to meet that disturbance with a setting down, a settling stillness. So if you'd like to practice this for a couple of minutes here with me on this video, go ahead and let your eyes come to a settled position of their own. Let them close or close most of the way. And let your spine straighten up and the body relax around it. With this guiding metaphor, you might treat the alert posture of your spine much like the material of glass that makes up the jar, solid and sturdy. And the muscles and your limbs and the rest of your body being something like that sand and water, just settling under its own weight. As you do this, and maybe even relaxing muscles intentionally, letting the breath move smoothly in and out, do your best to be settled and still, noticing when you become disturbed or pulled away in thought or in distraction, noticing when the substance and the contents of your mind are shaken and you feel that you become clouded. And when that happens, that's fine. It will happen. When that happens and your mind feels scattered or clouded, do your best to meet that scattered cloudiness with stillness. Not chasing after thoughts, not trying to beat them away, not trying to force them to be still or settled. This only disturbs the water more. Just do your best to let the sand settle under its own weight, to allow the water to be still and clear. You may have to set the jar down again and again, maybe very many times in these few minutes, and that's fine. Your mind is a lot like water. It's very easily disturbed, and it has a willingness to be disturbed but it also has a tendency to come to a stillness when it's set down, when it's left alone, when it's unmoved, when it's not driven toward things or away from things, when we don't busy our minds trying to cling to certain things we like and reject things we don't like. When we set that effort down, our mind, much like water, stills itself. And still water is clear. There's no need to try to make the mind still. It very likely won't be. Do your best just not to stir it up by chasing thoughts or pushing them away. There's nothing, in fact, to do. Just let the mind settle under its own weight and into its own stillness, even if it's disturbed again and again. You may notice that it never fully stills for you, and that's fine. It takes some time for water to become still, and each time we bump the jar, could be some subtle ripples through the water. If that feels like it's always there for you, that's okay. Do your best again and again just to let it settle as much as it does. Let it be as still as it will be. Okay, good. Now you can go ahead and look up or open your eyes. And if this was a helpful image for you, wonderful. Try to use it in a formal time of meditation and or throughout your day in your normal routine. If it wasn't a helpful image, that's fine too. Try to find one that is. Either another video of this series or some other image that I haven't mentioned. And do your best to try to contact that stillness in whatever way you can every day.